Hello, hello, my friends. My name is Anya. Welcome to Meadow Magic. I have been inspired today to talk to you about the Ankh, which is an ancient Egyptian symbol that has much meaning and a lot of magic associated with it. I'm not going to talk about the traditional symbolism and what it means. You can Google it to get that information. I am sharing hidden wisdom, hidden information about the symbolism of the Ankh. The Ankh, as many of you know, was associated or is associated with the goddess, my favorite goddess, Isis. She is probably the most revered goddess of all time. She is incredibly intelligent. She's very cunning. She is known as being a master healer and also an incredible magician. And something that magicians do is hide things in plain sight. And so I wanted to share that hidden wisdom and information about the Ankh. So if you take the Ankh and you flip it upside down, we have a different story to tell. So if any of you have read A Wrinkle in Time, it talks about tesseracts where you have a string, and I apologize because I don't have a string, but if you have a string that has point A and point B, you can be traveling along and it takes you whatever amount of time it takes you to get from point A to point B. But if you take that same string and you bring point A and point B together, and this is actually a very scientific term, and is being proven through black hole research and all kinds of cool research and information that's out there that you can Google. Anyway, long story short, you are creating sort of like a loophole, a shortcut in reality. And you can get from this point to this point very quickly. What we decided at some point, as all of creation existed in the ethers, prior to the 3D even existing, that we wanted to have an experience, collectively have this experience to experience the 3D, experience a physical reality. And so we chose collectively to come into this reality and bring this string together and have this experience where we're having lifetime after lifetime, where we're dropping down, we're forgetting who we are, we're forgetting that we're this beautiful aspect of source, of our source, of whatever you want to call it, God, goddess, creation. And this is a non-religious term. This applies to every religion and non-religion out there: Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist. It really doesn't matter. Spiritualists who are spiritual but not religious. It's all applicable. It applies to all of creation. And when you're having this experience of, we chose to forget who we are, we chose to have this forgetting of our connection to source, to God, to the heart of that creation source that we are. And we drop down as we're forgetting who we are. At some point, we're always going to come back home. We're going to make that decision to come back to our source. We've had the experience that we needed. We're going to come back up. And this is us forgetting who we are. This is us deciding that, we are really done having that experience. I mean, there are some people going through in this lifetime where this is their decision point. It may, for you or for me, it may have happened in the Middle Ages. And so we're taking our time to come back up in these other lifetimes to remember who we are. That's where we're doing all the healing and doing the deep work to remove and release the patterns and beliefs that were not serving us in these other lifetimes. And as we come back up and we're healing, we come back to, I want to call it the point of no return, or the event horizon, which at that point, that's truly the eye of the needle. That's where we're clearing our baggage. We're clearing all of those past life memories and traumas, and releasing those energies that held us back for so long. And this event horizon is beyond that, is unlimited potential. It is unlimited dimensional awareness. It's changing your consciousness. It's stepping into a new reality for yourself, and stepping back into that oneness with creator, with source, with God, with goddess. So That is why these ends here are expansive. They're shaped in, they're not straight because you're not going in a straight line. You're expanding out, and it's infinite. It's an infinite expansion. That is why those ends are shaped in that way. And so instead of going in a straight line, just being, God 1.0, this has allowed us to create what I like to call God 2.0. We are upgrading. We are entering territory we have never experienced before. We are doing this collectively. Every person that causes you trouble or strife in your life, they are just pushing you forward into this new awareness so you can let go of your baggage and your ailments and move forward and have this really beautiful experience. This might be someone, people may go through their own personal apocalypse. I know I certainly have in multiple stages of my life, what has felt like personal apocalypse. And as soon as those periods are done, you look back on it and you're like, I got through that. I can get through anything. And so that's what this is about, is going through those experiences, whatever it is that you've been through, going through the eye of the needle, removing your baggage, and returning to source, to that love that we are. And I am certainly not there yet, but I know I know that what awaits us on the other side of this reality is so, so good. It's something that we are going through together. That's why it's so important. We are creating a blueprint for others, especially these light workers who have taken on the mission to share this information, to share their experiences, to share these higher states of consciousness with others. And we are creating those blueprints. We're sort of like lighthouses so that others can choose to, if they choose to follow that path or create their own. I mean, we're really all lighthouses in our own way. And we're just creating a new rule book. And it's never been done before. That's what's so exciting about this, is the infinite potential that is awaiting us in God 2.0. It's just what I call it, because I don't know what else to call it. It has no name. There is no description for it. I just feel it. I can feel the other side. It's so beautiful, and there's just so much potential and union and connection and love. And so this is really a very cool thing to me, in terms of when I think about my journey and I think about the journeys of my friends and my family, and how it differs, how our shapes have differed, and our journeys have differed. And so again, just sharing this information, if you find it useful or helpful or even just interesting, great, I've done my job. But thank you so much for joining me. I really, I love sharing this kind of information. So I appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you soon.